Oh my God, y'all. Listen, there are so many cases of women and children. So many. That this whole trial for Breasia Terrell has gone on. And today is the first day I'm hearing about it. First day I'm hearing about it. This showed up in my timeline tonight. And I'm scrolling, I'm looking like they just went through an entire trial with this dude here. And I'm just not hearing about it. Apparently he's a offender. As you can see here in this title. So he's, registered, which means that he shouldn't even been around her. I remember this case here. 12 years old was this little girl. This guy was a neighbor, had a girlfriend that lived in the neighborhood. And just a little girl, 12 years old, that played outside with her friends. He did his thing, right? And then he lied. He lied for like a few days. I watched all his interrogations and everything. You see, this one is 3 hours long. But when they got him cornered and they said, look, dude, we know you did this enough times. Dude went ahead and said, well, this what happened. He said the little girl came on to him. He said she came in the house, and I don't like how they use this picture because I'm in my 40s, y'all. Okay, so we know when we were younger, which as an adult now, you just like, these adult women have some trauma within themselves. If you put your hand on your hip, you been kind of fast now. You've been a little grown. We would get in trouble for that. That was a no-no. You don't put your hand on your hip like you're grown, little girl, But if you put your hand on your hip and then another hand behind your head, oh yeah, you really think you, I don't. That was the thing when we were little. Y'all tell me I'm lying. And I think we know better now than to say stuff like this to children or even consider something like that. It's just something, girls are girls. It's just something girls do. But that's what made me think of, why would they use this picture when I saw this picture on here? Just because of the stereotype that other cultures may not know about, but we know about. That came with a little girl putting her hands on her hips or whatever. If you listen to this story, and this is another story, I can't remember her name. Y'all, there has been so many stories, and they still come out every day. But this story was ridiculous. How this guy did this little girl, and they never fully said whether or not she had been violated in, certain way. I can't remember if I don't think he was a registered offender. I don't think he was. But I know he had like a little boy with his girlfriend. And it was the girlfriend's apartment, technically, that he was staying with. And this little girl would be outside, doing dances with her friends and stuff. As they came and go, that's what everybody knew. Right out in front of her apartment, that's what she was doing. And he told us, he sat there, this dude right here, y'all, sitting here with his feet crossed, sat there and told them people that this little girl tried to come on to him when she came in the apartment. And he told her no, and she was aggressive about it, and he had to defend himself. And they never really said if he had violated her in other ways, because it seems like, from what I've gathered, that they didn't even try to test her. And I wonder, what kind of shenanigans is this? But I would love to see the interrogation of this dude. This is why I had to stop and do a video. Oh, okay. I remember seeing this video on my home feed, but I never clicked on it. How did I lose her? The one with him standing in the street and everything. Gosh, he is a creature, isn't he? Okay. I do want to hear the details of this story. Now, I'm unsure about the details. All I know is what I've heard so far, and it hasn't been a lot. I started watching the closing arguments from the prosecutor. And apparently, this guy's very own son witnessed him taking out the girl. And he is the one who told. And then something about his phone pinged at Walmart because he had originally taken out the battery. I wonder how long ago this was, because y'all know they don't give you the option to take out the battery anymore. And this is probably why, so that you can never not be traced. But the son put the battery in, was playing the game while he was in Walmart, allegedly. And then he hurried up and took the battery out. So they got a ping that was important to the case. This boy looks about 8 years old. And he allegedly witnessed something terrible. Oh, this is her mom. She looked just like her. Wow. So maybe he wasn't her natural father, but from what I'm seeing in the comment section, he told the oldest child, which was a male child, that he couldn't. I'm looking at all these videos, y'all. I'm about to add them to my playlist. I swear, y'all know. I watches it all. Okay, wow, all of this went on. Now, back to the point of why I'm making this video, and I don't know really anything about the case except for this guy is accused of executing the young lady. And I know it's saying kidnap, but he, from what I'm understanding, had permission for her to be at his house, staying the night. So I'm trying to figure out, is he the natural father? But he definitely was the natural father of the little boy. It looks like, to me, he might be her father. Wow. This little girl's no longer here, y'all. But something about he went out at 3 o'clock in the morning with her and his girlfriend was there. He has a girlfriend? So, check this out, y'all. Y'all remember, I'm already, working on this little, I guess you can call it mini series about a case, but it's really about all these cases. We are not safe. I can't speak to the details of what happened with this little girl just yet, but somebody dropped the ball with her. Her mother, for whatever reason, felt like this young lady should be able to spend the night with this man. And that's weird to me. Really weird. So I'm looking at videos as old as 2 days ago. No, I didn't want to click on that. Hold on. So I have to speak on blast because with the next, let me turn it down just a little bit though. With the next video after this, I want y'all to really be able to hear, because this is what prompted me to just speak a little bit. So the family's going to talk a little bit, so pay attention to this.
The man accused of killing and kidnapping 10-year-old Bridget Terrell has wrapped up, and now we wait for a verdict. TV6's Jen Jackson has been in the courtroom for the entire trial and wraps up closing arguments.
This is something I never wish on anybody else.
For Bridget Terrell's family, they've waited years for a shot at justice.
In the past 3 years, I tell anybody, it's like trying to let a wound heal, and going and seeing all of this now is like somebody done ripped the bandage off the little part that was healed, because this is something that we can never heal completely over.
Now, what they want is in the hands of one judge. Tuesday, it was a battle against the evidence during closing arguments, the state saying they had plenty of circumstantial and physical evidence to prove the case against Dinkins.
The evidence in this case is overwhelming, and the conclusions are clear. The child was taken from that apartment by a man who was not her father. She was taken.
Okay, here we go.
So that the adult,
so the prosecutor says it right here. He was not the father. Now, this person says, I blame the mother first because he was a offender and never to be around children ever. So why? He shouldn't even been around his own son if he was an offender. He shouldn't even been around his own son. At this point, I don't even want to listen to any more of what the family has to say. I'm good on that. It's whatever. I was just, trying to be humane with it and let them. And it sounds like they don't have hardcore evidence, but they have a lot of circumstantial evidence. And it's a bench trial, so the judge is going to make the decision. This is going to be interesting to see what happens. First and foremost, he's an offender. He shouldn't be around children. But, so I'm listening to the prosecutor do her closing arguments, and tell me what y'all hear. Hold on. All right. So, hold on, lady. Hold on. Loving the dress. Just hold on a second. While she is talking, please, guys, tell me what is going on in this courtroom, because as professional as you're supposed to be, I would have lost it. It could have come from the judge. It could have come from, I don't care what my position would have been in that courtroom. Eventually, I would have lost it on this guy. Because for me, I didn't get far. I got, I pulled it back to 18, so I probably got 30 minutes in. And I just was like, you can't be serious. Check it out. Listen. Watch.
And that will become very important for later discussions that I'm going to have in my opening statement. So Breasia goes to bed first. Andrea Culberson lays down to go to sleep. Notorious, she can hear Mr. Dinkins say to him that he has so much time to play the video game and that he's going down to bed. And then Notorious was in the bedroom asleep.
Okay.
Then Miss Culberson went to sleep.
You just saw and you just heard. Notice the prosecutor had a long pause in between her statements. Doesn't look like she turned her attention away from the judge. Again, it's a bench trial. So the judge needs to be focusing on what she is saying. What did you guys see and what did you hear? Absolutely. The defendant flipping through papers, which clearly had to be evidence that he had access and rights to see since, the beginning. So he's had plenty of time to go through all this stuff, right? Even if he didn't. You are loudly and purposefully the entire time flipping through the case evidence. Doing what? Reliving what you've done? Trying to confuse and confuddle the judge by distracting him, so while he should be intently listening to the prosecutor, he is thinking in his head, please stop with that railing and that noise. I can't believe he's doing that. Why nobody called him out? My only guess is it helps with his judgment, because clearly he has no respect for the fact that no matter what he's claiming about his innocence or guilt, this little girl has been taken and she's gone, right? But what in the world? You cannot be serious. The whole entire time I was hearing stuff, and if you listen to a lot of courtroom cases, you're going to find some nosier than others. You're going to find some where they should be turning mics on and off, because you're hearing other movements and things, and they don't be studio quality, this hot mic is hot type of microphones, and you hear a lot of echo noise in the back. So the noise system is always going to be jacked up in some kind of way. Well, for the most part. So you get kind of used to that. But in this situation, I'm just like, okay, this is clearly distracting and it's gone on too long. Not do they take an intermission and say, can you let me call you up here, Mr. Lawyer, sir, your mic, we hearing everything going. When we get back, can you just kind of, okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor, or whatever. But this is the defendant, and from what I've seen from trials, and I don't know the official rules on this, but they are allowed to, basically, as long as they're not, I can't say not disturbing the courtroom, but as long as they're not, up and about and, just speaking to people and all that kind of stuff, they can sit there and do. One was on his phone, and they were complaining about that, and the judge said, let him be on his phone, let him do whatever. It's his trial, let him, do whatever. So I think the ideal of this at the end of the day is, again, you showing yourself. See, look at him. This is the guy where we are to making a determination whether it's involving, directly his guilt or sentencing. We're still, as people of citizens of this society, able to sit here and observe you and use that to help us form our own opinions of you. And this dude the entire time is making the most noise looking through things in the case. Now, could he be trying to block himself out from hearing the gory details? Somebody said that in the comment section. I'm just going to tell you to the no, I don't think so, because he looking at it. So he damn sure ain't trying to block it out. He ain't block it out. This not a home and garden or a hunting magazine he's looking at direct evidence, photos, all that. He don't want to hear what he did to that little girl. That's what somebody said. What? He looking at what he did to... Y'all better stop playing. This dude's sitting here making all the noise in the world. Y'all, sis, we not safe. Sis, your children, they not safe, bro. Not at all. Monsters.
The last that she knew of Mr. Dinkins and his whereabouts was that he was there in the living room on the couch. Miss Culberson is a very heavy sleeper. She'll testify to that. At 3 a.m. in the morning, she woke up because she needed to use the bathroom. When she woke up, she discovered that Mr. Dinkins was not there in the living room. That seemed odd to her. She got up.
Can I just shout out the cameraman? Can we shout out the cameraman? Because in most cases, I tell him, listen, let me tell you something. Most cases, especially when it's not the defendant, we sitting in here like, who the heck, man? Somebody mic is too hot. Why did he want to be so rude? Because, sometimes these people don't know that all of these sounds getting picked up. But you just be like, who in the heck in the courtroom making all this extra noise? We trying to focus and listen. This man made sure he put the camera on this dude here, flipping through the magazine like he do at the counter. You want to hurry up and flip through the next edition to even make your decision by the time you get up to the front whether or not you're going to buy the magazine or not. Or you're not going to buy the magazine, but you want to enjoy what they got real quick. So you flip before it's your turn and you got to put it back. He flipping. Y'all don't see this dude flipping through here. He's looking intently. Bro, this is the prosecutor giving her closing argument on your trial. Huh?
Sleeping at the foot of the bed, but where little Briasia had fallen asleep on the right-hand side and toward the top of the bed, there were simply the covers that had been folded over and there was no child there. There was a sense of alarm. She went to the bathroom to use the bathroom, but she decided
Notice
to get her
that
glasses
at this
and
point he's
on.
looking at pictures. Somebody, for the person or anybody else who really also thinks that this dude is trying to avoid to hear what he did to this good girl, he is looking at pictures of what he did to this little girl. Okay, he looked like the newest episode of his favorite motorcycle or car magazine came out, and he looked like at one point he opened up the, how they have like a long page in the middle. You fold it and fold it again, and then you got the whole car, big shot, laid out, taking up 3-4 pages. And you got to turn the angle around, and the ones you could pull that out and make a poster out of it. This dude, and what he got around his neck? Some earbuds? Like, what the hell going on?
To make sure that Breasia wasn't there. And Breasia was not there. Mr. Dinkins wasn't there, and Breasia wasn't there. Ms. Culberson will testify that she had a very uneasy feeling about that.
This dude sitting here
stayed up.
flipping through this thing like he got a comic book from his friend during recess, and his friend let him see it, and he told him he got 5 minutes, and he gonna get him all his lunch desserts for the next 2 days to let him look at it. But he said, okay, I'm only giving you 5 minutes. And he flipping real quick. Matter of fact, dude say he giving him 2 minutes. Y'all know no kid gonna give you no 5 minutes. 2 minutes. And he flipping before the bell ring real quick. And dude about to say, okay, that's enough. Give me my magazine back. This is his trial, y'all. The heck?
Sitting in the dark. Now at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and this is a time.
Did you see that? Is it clear to you? These are pictures. What is he looking for? Huh? This dude sitting over here acting like he looking for his homework real quick so he can turn it into the teacher before she go ahead and give him an F for not doing it. And he know he didn't do it, but he trying to act like he did it. He know he got it. He just can't find it. Really?
At a clock that was on her desk that said it was 3:30 in the morning, she heard Mr. Dinkins very quietly open the door and very quietly come up the stairs into the apartment. And she wanted to know where he was at and where Breasia was at. Mr. Dinkins wasn't really responding to questions other than just to say something very circumspect. He went into the bedroom, flipped on a light, and then went to his car.
wish y'all could see me.
Now,
I'm sitting here with my mouth wide open. I wish you could see me sitting here looking at this dude going through this paperwork like this. Y'all understand this man got a lawyer? Bro, he got a lawyer. He got a defense lawyer. I don't know if he a public defender or whatever, but I saw comments in the comment section and people say even his lawyer ain't even really trying because he know he did it. He got a lawyer. He don't even need to be doing. He got to hurry up and find whatever the aha moment is. This dude ain't finding nothing. He not giving no closing argument. He not representing himself. His attorney done already came up with what he gonna say, and the case has already been laid out. You not finna introduce no new evidence during closing arguments, y'all. Do you understand that at the end of the day, there is absolutely no valid reason for him to be intently flipping through this paperwork like this, especially making all that there noise? While the prosecutor is giving her closing, the camera's on, court is in session, and dude is flipping loudly through these pages. I see old girl in the back sitting behind him. I don't know what she thinking about. But sis, if you ain't really fantasizing about all the many ways you would like to be the one to personally stop this dude from flipping through the paperwork like that, instead of a turkey sandwich or something, you dropped the ball too. Our women and children are not protected. How in the world did this dude, lady, mom of this child, he is a registered offender. He shouldn't have been around none of your children. And that's, I think they said, the youngest was 5. Why do y'all keep letting these dudes back out on the streets? I don't care what nobody say. If you are found guilty of messing with a child, it needs to be an automated, take care of that. you make sure that your thing don't even thing no more. Okay? It's not like they're not already doing it behind people's backs and without their permissions. This is definitely proven, especially when you go to prison. It's definitely proven scientific fact. That stuff is put in the foods and stuff and drinks that's given to consumers to mess with you in that way. Why don't y'all go ahead and just make it a point? Why are we not pushing for that? One chance is enough. You don't get no redemption in my world for violating a child. It's no coming back from that. We don't want you here amongst us. If you're gonna be amongst us, and I'm saying if, because in a perfect world that I run, they don't get to be. Okay, y'all could do however you want to throw honey on them, put them in the beehive, however you want to make that happen. By law, we turn them loose to you as long as you carry out the deed, and he must suffer. Okay, and let people have the opportunity to watch if they want to, and we not charging for tickets. Okay, we're not going to broadcast and force nobody to do it. But you can pay for that live stream if you can't make it there. Registered. Homie, mom, she need to be right up in there getting charges too. Because how are you going to force anybody to keep the children safe if the mother who made a decision to allow this young lady and the boy, a registered offender is a registered offender. There ain't no rehab in these dudes. He could very well harm either one of them, especially if there's things that were seen. And we're fortunate that the little boy is still here and he was able to help in his sister's case. This dude is flipping, y'all. You don't believe me? Did you just join? He flipping the whole time, and it's loud.
If we talk about the bedroom itself, when you're standing there in the doorway, on the left-hand side, that's where you would access the bathroom. And then, again, there is a closet on that side. That was Miss Culberson's closet, where she kept her personal belongings. On the right side of the bed, there was a closet where Mr. Dinkins kept his things. She will testify that Mr. Dinkins went to that closet. He was rummaging around.
Y'all hear him listen. I'm sitting in the car with the speakers banging. I can hear it loud and clear. And I love the way that, for the most part, they're not looking at him. They're focused on her from what we can see. At least these two up here. The other lady, she could potentially be staring at him like, dude. But these two are unbothered, unfazed. But there's no way that they're not hearing this loud and clear like we are. Now, their audio is not the same as what's coming through the microphones for us. But they see him, they hear him. This is audible enough for these people to hear it. And the prosecutor, I love the way she acting like it ain't even taking place. She is not playing. And she is focused. She is focused. And here's a comment right here that says, I never seen a prosecutor explain to the judge in detail this way. It must not be a jury trial because she tells a horrible story in such an elegant way, and I'm dying to see what the responses are for that, because that is an interesting perspective. Now, the prosecutor for the Nicholas Cruz case, remember all the victims and their names in which order, every single detail. Correct. It's a bench trial to be determined. That's why she's only speaking directly to the judge. She would be speaking to the jury if it was a jury trial. He opted out of a jury trial. That is interesting. I've seen cases like this before where the guys opt out of jury trial, or if given a choice, like Andre did in Andrine McDonald's case. and the jury is having a problem with making the decision, or it comes to sentencing and you are given a choice whether or not you want the judge or the jury to make your decision. They almost always choose the judge. They figure there's too many people over there that can have these all opinions of him based on this, based on that. And they figure a judge is going to just look at them straight up. Or they're thinking, he's a man, I'm a man. I got a way better chance with him. He done some things too. He just never got found out. He might be on bro code. I don't know. This is just my perspective. I'm pretty sure there is a technical and legal explanation as to why suspects usually choose the judge. But I'm pretty sure also that explanation is typically it's going to be, that's one person versus 12 people. They have all their, they're not experts in law, so they're more emotional than anything. It could have been one day I came in and they weren't vibing with me that day and they just didn't like me from there. I don't know. But they do think of course they think they have a better chance with the judge. I gotta see this again, y'all. Let's just see. I mean, he's still going on. How long we been doing this? He's still going. He ain't stopped.
Is at, he's rummaging through things. She happens to pull back the curtain to the window and looks out. And little Briasia. Briasia is standing by a maroon Chevy Impala on the passenger side of the vehicle. Now, there are going to be 3 vehicles that the court's going to be hearing about. The maroon Chevy Impala, which was a vehicle that was used by Mr. Dinkins and Ms. Culberson. And then the black Camaro. The maroon Chevy Impala had characteristics that become very important.
Wow. Right in this moment, I come to this comment. Andrea Culberson needs to be locked up. This woman had to know what was about to take place when she looked out the window and saw this baby standing next to that car at 3 a.m. Then, to not let her brother use the phone when he woke up and realized his sister was gone is letting you further know she knew. And I believe she's talking about the girlfriend, because from what I understand, the girlfriend saw the girl outside at 3 a.m. and he was ready to take her somewhere. And she didn't stop it and apparently didn't allow her to use the phone. The state gave this chick a pass and got it wrong. The woman knew and she did nothing to help this baby. And I don't see how she got a pass, because I know the woman knows that he is an offender. So as knowing that someone is an offender, you let them take off with a little girl. Here we go. I am so annoyed by Dinkins shuffling around and through what I guess is an evidence book. He hasn't looked up or seems a bit more concerned as to what the prosecutor is saying. That shuffling to me is a guilty, shameful man, guilty as charged, clearly. And you letting the judge, even though in your mind he's supposed to stick with whatever evidence, that's evidence too, sir. Okay, the judge was once a lawyer, probably an investigator of some sort, which what a lawyer is. And you best believe he don't understand different types of evidence. The way this man is acting in this case is not only evident of the fact that he's likely guilty, but it's also evident that he don't care about this youngin or her family, because he just disrupted and disrespectful. Huh? Just dummies out here doing dumb shit. Ladies, women, we're not safe in this world amongst these dudes. Okay? Stop acting like we are. And get yourself together and get on your right path and your right position, because there's no way that shit like this needs to be going on, and women doing dumb stuff like dating these offenders, being around these offenders, having children around these offenders, not turning their behinds in the moment you see and hear something you know you ain't supposed to see and hear, Then you gonna turn around and still be laid up with the dude. Then you got, women that failed this young lady who did not protect her and did not stop him from even having her go over to his place in the first place. This dude should not even have been a factor in these people's lives. Whatever made this woman have a son with him, maybe she knew then, maybe she didn't and found out later, I don't know. But once you know, and you cannot possibly tell me that you're going to sit there and let your son and your daughter go off with this dude and stay the night at his house. Now, we got to read this comment where someone is giving the prosecutor props. Says, wow, she didn't even look at one piece of paper. I didn't hear her flipping through notes in her opening, only when reading the counts, and she probably didn't even need to do that. Impressive. Yes, I want to know who this lady is. Definitely. The way the prosecutor explained the details, I could put myself at the apartments the night of, and then where the skull was. Did he dismember her? This is very sad. My condolences to the mom and siblings. Oh, how can anyone not believe in the death penalty? And listen, I just don't. It's. I saw a little post, and I might put it up, say on Instagram or TikTok sometime in the near future. Y'all know I ain't gonna really repost and stuff like that here, but it was a commercial, I guess, if you will, or advertisement from, I think, Squat University. And, they were saying, how when we were younger, it was a lot more official in school as far as fitness and exercise. It was a little more strenuous. Like, you had strenuous exercise and you had to do the presidential fitness test. Y'all remember that test? Now, what it showed was very militant training going on, and it looked like some of these dudes was really young adults. So people were debating that and accuracy of it, or were they training because they wanted to draft them, they wanted to scare other countries by using that as an ad. However, it's still, the truth remains, whether it was that serious or not. Y'all know we had PE. Y'all know that was a grade. Y'all know they did stuff like tell you had different coaches. Some didn't play and some was just like, hey, it's on you if you don't want to be worth a doggone thing. So they kind of let you be to a certain degree. But if you didn't participate in class in PE, then you didn't do that without consequences. Oh no, it was not that. But you had to do stuff like push-ups, pull-ups. You had to do all kind of tests and everything. And nowadays, I don't even think they have PE at all in schools anymore. And people are saying, like, how do we get there? How do we get there? What? Karens ain't nothing new. You know good and heck well, somebody's mama came around and said, y'all being too hard on my son. Y'all pushing and demanding and making them do all of that, and they come home crying to me. They don't want to do it. They tired, or they ain't built like that. My daughter ain't made to be doing all that stuff for boys. And, so some Karens got together and put the kibosh on that mess. That's just how it goes in all areas of life, in all aspects. People carrying shit down. Fall for the bullying, and look at where we at now. I know parents years ago could never have seen it become this complacent and just ridiculous. But at that time, they wanted, I got to advocate for my child. This ain't right. No. We don't want to, we got to bend this, break that, take this out. Just don't be so harsh. Now, we're in a world where anything goes. Listen, executions that used to exist before, I wouldn't even have went for it. But when you have to open your eyes up to the true evils of this world, there is no way in the bloody pit of Hades that a offender of children should get past. Now, somebody said the first time offenders should get castrated. Okay, that was a statement that was made. All right, if you think castration is good enough, whatever. I guess the choice can be made put the options on the table where, like, say in trials you have, oh, you can get the death penalty and you get life in prison. Okay, here we can have you get tortured to death, or you're going to get the castration. I'd be cool with that. But you're also going to always have this committee, whether or not the person is guilty or not, they still feel like, oh, we don't have a right to do this, and we shouldn't do this, and we can't be like them, and they're going to fight for these people's rights. Where do you think that all this getting rid of the death penalty and being less harsh on criminals and stuff come from? Not the first time offense, baby. The first time we know about it, the first time we catch him, because that may have been the third time when we found out. Okay, they may have been on their 10th child at that time. So if you go by what you're saying, think about stuff you be saying now. If you go by what you're saying, that first offense, and you get that person, and let's just say you find out that wasn't their first offense. And they know that if they say, okay, this wasn't my first offense, I can prove I did this before that. Oh, this punishment don't apply to them. You see how that works? And I'm dead ass. And there's no way that we should not only be doing everything in our powers to stop these dudes from being around these children and having the access to do this to these innocent children. We should not be cool with letting them back out again so they can do it again. We should not be cool with just put them in prison, because people swear up and down that somebody gonna get took care of in prison, and I'm tired of that too. Okay, I'm tired of that too, because who gonna take care of them? Huh? Do you personally have a hit gang that you can rely upon, and they have a progress record that can be shown that they take care of that business, that we can all sign up to be down for? Put something on their commissary, hire them or whatever, keep them on the payroll, make sure they look good up in there. Because if you don't know what this person is going to experience in prison. You don't know if anybody getting at him or worshiping him. You don't know if somebody getting at him or wanting to get at him, but know that there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to protect them, and mainly because of what they did. You act like there's not going to be a prison full of people who, a lot of them, did the same thing or wanted to do the same thing or fantasized about doing the same thing. It really bothers me when I hear especially women, say something like that. You really think that you can fantasize a beautiful, ugly lie as that? So you sitting in a world where you think that men who do these things, are so righteous in jail that they're gonna kick ass, they're gonna torture, they're gonna hate, they're gonna really make this person suffer if they know that they abused a child, or that they killed the lady, they took advantage of a lady. That is some fantasy land that you're living in. That is some fantasy land.
By the Davenport Police Department, there were dark tinted windows on the Impala, and then on the trunk, on the right hand side, there was a white sticker. On the front of the vehicle, in the area of the windshield, there was a front sticker. And so those characteristics were the characteristics.
Man, I'm just sitting here like, get the fuck. You gotta be joking. This dude sitting up here making all the noise he wanna make. Snorting his nose and everything. He making all the noise he want to make. I want to speed up some more because I'm at the point where I'm trying to hear what she's saying.
5 locations that Henry Dinkins had traveled during the early morning hours of June 10th, and we're talking after midnight, and up to the period of noon that he presented himself to the Davenport Police Department. The black Camaro is also very distinctive in the sense that
It's
it
even
has
worse.
the face of a little.
When it's sped up, it's even worse, isn't it? This guy is really sitting here acting like he gotta hurry up and get that evidence found before it's his defense team's turn. If you didn't know any better, you'd think that's what's happening. It don't matter what he find. It don't matter what he find. The evidence has already been presented, and they rest after they do their closing arguments. They rest also when they finish presenting their case, and they rest. Okay? And then you go to closing arguments. Those are the procedures. There's no, oops, how about this? Aha. It don't work like that. There's no new evidence being presented at this point in this case, in this trial. But yet and still, he's sitting up there going through this paperwork as if he came home. The teacher done called your mama and told her that you got a bad note sent home for what you did, right? You know, did some shit in school. Oh, boy. But you didn't think that the teacher called home, because most of the time the teacher don't call home. Or maybe she might call home on Tommy in class, but for the most part, everybody else, she don't really call home on them. She just send that note home. And you say, I ain't trying to get in trouble right now. It's too close to my birthday. Or I'm trying to go to this birthday party this weekend. And I know my mom go. So you're going to toss it. You're gonna be bad. You're going to toss it. And you're going to just cheat your ass. Oh, I gave it to her. I don't know what she did with it. Can you send me another? I make sure she get it. I don't know. You're going to say something crazy, but you probably ain't thought it all the way through. Mind of a child, but you tossed it. And then you get home. And your mama standing there. Where that note at, though? Oh, you thought I didn't know? Where that note at? And you sitting up there, you looking all through your stuff. Like, you gonna find a note that you tossed out. That's what he looked like with his sped up. He know that belt coming or that switch. Clothes hanger, stitcher cord, however y'all got it. He knows it's coming. Oh, I'm going to speed it up a little bit more.
On both the driver's side of the vehicle and the passenger side of the vehicle, with king and queen noted in the area of where that line space is at. And then there's, that same type of design on the front hood of the Camaro. Those two vehicles remained parked and were available for use there at the address of 2744 East 53rd Street. Now, Mr. Dinkins also had a motorhome. His motorhome was located in an industrial area, actually in a fenced-in lot. And that lot belonged to a gentleman who owned Devon's, D-E-V-O-N-S, self-storage. That mobile home, or RV if you will, just to give the court a perspective, I want the court to think about River Drive in the area where Craig Valley is.
Man, can y'all put the camera back on him again? We hear her. We know she doing good. He had a mobile home, y'all, that he didn't even own. Who's that?
In the west, out of town, as you get past the ball diamond, you will get to an area that's very industrial. For purposes of perspective, if the court will picture where the Purina plant is located at, on Rockingham. Schmidt Road is a north-south street. It lies on the west side of the Purina plant. And it's just to help a little bit more, if you're traveling on 2nd Street, heading west, it turns into Rockingham. You will pass the Purina plant, and then if you were to take that first north-south road, actually turn south going down River Drive.
Hold on, y'all. He must have chilled out. He must have chilled out a little bit. I mean, you could still hear him, but they didn't put the cameras on him for a long time. But shout out to the cameraman, because this is like almost 30 minutes in. And the cameraman did his thing because he kept the cameras on him for a long time so that we could really soak all this in. Now, I'm going to fast forward some more because I want to see him trying to find that note, because I think his mama going to have to go ahead and give him a whooping, right?
When she responded to the complex, she called to notify the parties that she was out in the parking lot, and Reasia came down to gather the floating. Mom had the family pet with them, the dog. Rachel was really excited about it. In fact, Rachel wanted to take the dog with her up to the apartment. Mom had to call her back and say, no, the family pet's going home. But at any rate, it was one of those, give the clothes, love you, have a wonderful time. And then Aisha left with Rachel going back inside the apartment complex, or I should say apartment number 8 with the clothing. After Aisha left the Jersey Meadow apartment, she took a right-hand turn on 53rd, so she's traveling west. The weather that night is also an issue that becomes very important to talk about. Because as she was traveling north and got to the area of North High, there was a significant thunderstorm that broke out. And it was raining so hard that her windshield wipers would not keep up. So she had to pull over into a driveway and wait until the rain subsided before she went back to her apartment.
Wow.
She was staying within the apartment.
I'm just listening to this lady when she's saying the mom was the girl she wanted to bring the new dog and everything. And they let this girl go. Let her go be with a monster. An offender. Unbelievable. Most disrespected, most unprotected. The black woman. This comment says, if she saw the little girl standing outside at 3 a.m. by herself, she was supposed to call the police and the girl's mother. Then go downstairs and get her. What is wrong with that lady? That's a good question. And look like this is coming from E-Dude. This is a dude's face, and it says T-Dub66. But yes, his younger brother had no idea how much he was helping his big sister receive justice by putting that battery in his father's phone. You are a hero, young man. Way to go, DL. Dude looks like an old demon with his horns turned downwards. That's what I was thinking. And this is a dude too. Kevin's scam you alls. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm slow. I got it. Kevin scam you alls. That's clever. So, why did the girlfriend confront this man immediately after seeing his child outside next to his car at 3 a.m.? And then call the girl's mother and then call the police? Huh? Because she want to keep her fantasies of this dude? She want to act like she don't got the kind of dude that she got? What the hell? Let's see this dude. Did he find a note yet? Because mama gonna tear that ass up. Let's fast forward a little bit. I probably went back too far. Here we go. Let me see. Did he find the homework? The note from the teacher.
Go to sleep. Detorius, she can hear Mr. Dinkins say to him that he has so much time to play the video game and that he's going down to bed. And then Detorius was in the bedroom asleep.
Nah.
When Miss Culberson went to sleep, the last that she knew of Mr. Dinkins.
He didn't find it.